Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of Creators Outlet with our old pal Doc
The doctor
Blalock.
is in, baby.
Welcome to a brand new episode and Devil Flyer first in. Sorry, no prizes. That's only over in that's only over on Neff and Freak Girls channel that we give out prizes if you're first 3 times in a row. I keep trying, but I keep missing.
I
What's
was
up, Doc?
I was jamming, man. The music had me jamming. Yeah.
Hey, hail.
Hail, hail, hail!
Mind blowing. Hit that like button. Welcome to the channel. I did. Why, thank you very much.
Welcome, my friends Rex and Shadowhawk. Good to see you guys. Hope the spaghetti turned out good, and I hope you remember to save me a plate. Because damn, some spaghetti sounds good right now, Will.
Yeah, if I didn't just have the last of the corned beef and cabbage
Ooh, that sounds good too.
and in a 12-ounce Sam Adams to wash it down with.
Oh, I hate you now.
We got a
Will.
rate of 2. All right, I'll take it.
Hey, Carol is here. Carol is Team Pariah. She should come in here and chill too. Carol is one of our colorists and one of the funnier people in our streaming community.
Hmm.
Carol, how the heck are you, girl? Good to see you. She's like,
Shadow, just sub. Thank you.
she's, I'm stoned. How are you?
Crayola Carol. I got Crayolas. What the hell?
So, Will, we haven't streamed together in like 3 or 4 months. It's been a while.
Yeah, possibly a little longer. Yeah.
Yeah, may very well be. I think the last time it was on one of the Seanzillas. I was hanging out with you and Sean.
Yeah. And then then we mistakenly let Eagle come in and she talked over everybody and yeah.
That's the risk you run.
Yeah, that's why I sent you that message earlier. Tonight will be an eagle free zone, but no plastic bags allowed.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She said, I might be stoned, or at least you should be, Carol.
If you think you might be stoned, you just might be a redneck.
Chances are
Yeah.
you is. Look, man, I'm all washed out because of my white screen shining on my face. That
Yeah.
and the fact that in real life I'm kind of washed out, Will.
Just getting tired. How's the homestead doing?
Still digging out, man. Still digging out from under this mess.
Oh man, that's just
Like where the shed was, it's an archaeological dig. We're going through there finding things we forgot we had that are now shattered beyond all hope. And you dig another layer down, and there's more. Because I'm here to tell you, man, when 3 oak trees fall on your shed, it'll bury some shit.
yeah. Like the entire shed.
Yes, that too. There's a piece of the fence. I had it done up nice. It looked like a little cottage back there, a little fence. There's a piece of fence back there that I don't think I could get out of there with dynamite, man. It drove it in there twice the length it was originally in there.
Wow.
And then we've still got one of the holes in the roof is leaking. Not one of the holes are patched, but one of the exhaust ports, I think it's the one for the hood, the oven hood stove exhaust. The seal is cracked, and so it's leaking. So I got to get back up there and patch that until we can get the repairs done.
Oh yeah. So I thought it was a little strange that when I went to your Twitter, that your campaign wasn't pinned to the top of your profile page.
Well, there's a valid reason for that.
Okay.
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh.
Okay, boomer.
Wow. Yeah. I thought I was bad.
What's up, Manny? There's so much I don't know. I barely understand Twitter. I just kind of go there and chuckle at the memes and and pretend that I know what I'm doing, but I don't. I don't. Who are we kidding?
Yeah, I I kind of went all out on somebody today, but I tried to keep it civil, and I did, and he was civil back because we've spoken before,
Uh
but
huh. Uh huh.
apparently Marvel just released an omnibus for the '97 X-Men cartoon comic books,
Okay.
and when they released it, the one of the guys that worked on the show, I'm not sure if he was the producer or just the showrunner, um, decided he was going to be a victim and virtue signal all at the same time
Mm.
when he said, this whole story was relatable to me because I'm a gay black man. I go, and what does that have to do with anything in the story? I go, they were all great cartoons, and I don't remember, Professor X and Jean doing anything, freaky. So
Hey, listen, I identify with a vision, which means I'm a red android. Okay. Shut up, Carol. Hey, Manicore. Good to see you, buddy. The Thunder from Down Under, Manticore, co-writer of Artifice Reanimate. Good guy, too.
derp.
Derp. So, yeah, I didn't know I could pin my campaign.
Yeah, the three little dots on the side, you just select those, and it'll let you pin and unpin stuff that's relevant to your Twitter page.
I had no idea.
Especially since I told everybody in the description to go follow you and gave your info.
So I got to go to my homepage, right?
Yep.
And
You go to your profile page on Twitter, and then you scroll. I felt like I was scrolling for the year of my birth.
What? And then what do I look for?
You look for where you have your campaign.
Oh, so post my campaign and then pin it. Gotcha. All right, let me
Go.
do that right this cotton picking second.
And while you're doing that, I will post it in the chat. Bum, bum, bum. There you go, everybody. Link to the campaign. Hey, File 13, how are you?
All right. So
now that Arizona is flooded, I'll be on my pool float going down the Colorado River. At least the Wi-Fi is good.
Okay, I just shared it on my Twitter stream, and it's not there.
Go to your profile.
Oh, Lord. All right, profile. There it is. There it is. All right, now I'm looking for the three dots. There they are. Pin to your profile.
There you go.
Bam! Bam! Done.
Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Who you calling old?
Me.
Old man.
Yeah. So, since you dropped Sean's name earlier, I did want to show you that he's still doing art. He just finished this one today. So I figured I'd blast it up on the screen real quick, and then we'll jump into your campaign.
Manny says, I told you to do that ages ago. Well, Manny, you may as well have told me to do microsurgery on an amoeba. I just, I'm sorry.
There we go.
You said pin my campaign, so I literally just took a safety pin and
put it up there.
Printed it out.
He just did this new crow.
Oh, wow. Holy cow. Yeah, Sean is just nothing but badass. And I love that he does all of this traditional.
Yeah, I bought one of his originals from the Red Valkyrie art auction the other month.
Nice.
The Adam West Batman and Julie Newmar Catwoman sharing the soda fountain.
Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yep.
I bought that one because I
You.
lost the hope to somebody else. Nothing out of the peanut gallery, please.
No sympathy for Will from the house elf.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Will. Don't kill me. I have much to live for.
She can't hear you.
Okay, all right.
So, okay, now we want to bring up the campaign.
The Campagne.
Doc Blalock's Pariah's Mud and Blood.
Thank you, File 13. The music, interestingly enough, the first part is my son and I recorded that together up in his studio.
Oh, nice.
I wrote it. The second part is some old friends of mine. You can find what's left of their music on YouTube. The band is Damnage, Damnage, and you won't find any more than that because the lead singer died. So, and they were good friends of mine, and the bass player was kind enough to let me use that particular track, which I wanted from Jump Street for the trailer.
Cool. So we will bring this on up.
There we go.
So, did you run a campaign on Kickstarter for this before this?
No.
Okay.
However, after we finish up here on Indiegogo, everything is moving to fund my comic. I am shadow banned on Indiegogo. I did not think that would happen, but it did. So,
yep. It's one of them things.
Yep. Which means, all the backers we've gotten so far, we're almost at 60% here. All of those have been direct link backers, meaning I'm on a stream, we drop the link and people go. So if you'd like to get yourself a copy of this book or some of the other lovely merchandise, you can head over there and support it. And you will be listed as a producer in the book and be a part of book 1 of the Pariah Trilogy.
And so this is the first of 3.
Mm-hmm.
And these are all semi-floppy. They're 32 pages.
Around 32.
Okay.
Maybe 36, may go up to 40. I don't know. The reason being, originally it was going to be one big book. But because the economy went in the toilet, we decided, you know what, let's break it into a trilogy, make it more affordable for the backers. So we did that. And of course, that requires some editing because you no longer have one big story arc. You got to have 3 arcs to make one arc. So that requires some editing. And I've been doing the scenes and pages to kind of give it its denouement and its conclusion and segue into the next one. And I got to tell you, I'm kind of glad we did it because it enabled me to flesh out some scenes that I really wanted to flesh out. And so I've kind of enjoyed it.
File 13 says, Viva la raza of the band. It sometimes feels like we're all banned in one way or the other. And now I have to say what I always say. Shadow banned, we're just unpopular.
Yep. And File 13 says, do you sell individual stills of these characters? Yeah, as we scroll through the campaign, you'll see some that are going to be trading cards. I'm also doing a F-ton of sketch cards. And, I'm even amenable to if someone says, I want to buy some sketch cards. I'll take a request. I want this character, that character, whatever character. I'm happy to do that. I enjoy doing sketch cards. And the neat thing is, as a professional painter, I've got certificates of authenticity by the stacks of them. And you just flip one over and do the sketch card on the back. They're 5x7. And the other side is already a certificate of, so I fill it out and I sign it and boom, double your value, boys and girls.
Carol says she wants an entire page in the book dedicated to her.
Oh,
well, technically, anything in or on the book that's in color has already been dedicated to you because you
Not
broke
true.
out the Crayolas. It's not true.
Not true.
What did she do?
She did some. We'll look as we go down. She's done some of the color work, and then the cover was done by Matt Crott. So let's kind of scroll on through. We'll play the trailer at the end.
Okay.
Well, where it says 2 campaigns, Middletown, United States. That's my publisher, Anthony Romano. That's not me. I've not done a previous campaign. This is my foist.
The foist.
My foist.
The first of many to come. Come on, mouse. There we go. It's working now.
So this is a revenge story. I don't know if any of your viewers are familiar with the book by Tom Clancy, Without Remorse, but that's kind of what planted the seed for me, Will. I knew I was going to do a book because I'm a fine artist, and I literally got canceled from the fine art community that I founded by people who wanted to like poop and vomit on canvases and call it art. And I said, hell no. So they rightly accused me of gatekeeping. And I said, yeah, but only because it's my gate. So anyway, I decided I did comics back in the 90s for some of the small press. And I decided, you know what? I know how to do books and I'm enjoying this community and I've got stories to tell. So at first I was going to do a traditional superhero group book. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Tom Clancy's Without Remorse is my favorite Clancy book. And that's a hard pick because they're all so good. And I hate that we lost him because God, he was good.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, in Without Remorse, you know, a Navy SEAL has lost his wife, and after a year, he picks up this girl, and they kind of fall in love, and he finds out she had been tied up in drugs, and she was a prostitute and a mule for a drug ring. Well, you know, the drug lords kind of track her down, and they rape her to death. They kill her.
Oh, jeez.
And they attempt to kill him, but they don't know who he is. Well, he's a Navy SEAL. And this takes place during Vietnam when SEALs were not known. They are an unknown quantity. So you got to imagine for a moment that you're one of these drug gangbanging, drug lords, whatever, and you suddenly have the undivided attention of a Navy SEAL who is trained to think, plot, plan. He is patient. He is skilled. Your ass is going to fucking die. And I read it and I thought, I wonder what would happen if they did that to a witch. So that's the basic premise here. Now, Elizabeth Payne, our heroine, she's a young lady. She left home for the big city. She's working in a club as a waitress. And she walks in on a mob murder. Whoops. Well, she's a good girl. So she tries to do the right thing. She goes to the DA. They put her into protective custody. And all she's got to do is testify. Well, the mob finds her. And they give her the worst night of her life, Will. And it ends with her throat slit and left for dead. But what they didn't know is that Elizabeth is descended from a centuries-old lineage of powerful witches. So she unlocks her power. And like the quote says from Walter Scott there, revenge, the sweetest morsel to the mouth that ever was cooked in hell. So over the trilogy, we're going to follow Elizabeth's quest for not just revenge, but just blood. But along the way, she's kind of possibly losing her morality, her sanity, her humanity. And it's kind of, you know, it's a brutal story. So like Rex says, it's a love story.
Yeah. So a love story. As soon as I see the word revenge, all that flashes through my mind, like everything, is it's either a Star Trek quote or a Star Wars quote. So, of course, it's a Star Trek quote of a Klingon tale that revenge is a dish best served cold.
Yep. When I found this quote, I had heard this quote before, and I went looking for it because I wanted to tag it and use it in my campaign. But I couldn't remember who said it. And I couldn't remember the whole quote. So when I went looking for it, everything popped up. Revenge is a dish best served cold. I'm like, no, motherfucker, that's not the one I want. So it took a minute, but I found it. So yeah, in chapter 1 here, we see Elizabeth's, you know, night of complete horror. We see her kind of coming back to life, kind of, sort of, from the edge of death. And her training and unlocking her powers, and then her setting out to return to the city for her revenge. So yeah, these are some sample pages, and
And the thing that we love to see the best, the book is 100% complete.
yeah, I made a promise from day one that I would not launch this campaign until everything that I do as the writer and artist and inker is done. And so it is done. We got to do the lettering, but the script's written, and Anthony's doing the lettering for me. So we just got to finish that up.
No, Anthony's doing it. We better proofread that son of a bitch.
Yeah, closely. We were cutting up about that this morning when we talked, as a matter of fact. So yeah, here we kind of see the mob boss. He shoving a little slender blade up into the brain housing unit
His pig sticker
of this hapless little piece of shit, and Elizabeth walks in on it.
Oops.
Yep, big oopsie. And then her home is my home, which is the South Carolina Low Country. This is where Paris Island is, where Hilton Head is, Port Royal, St. Helena's, Hunting Island. It's a whole big chain of barrier islands on the Carolina coast. Not a lot of people know it's there. It looks a lot like the bayou, except instead of big cypress trees, you have live oaks with Spanish moss in them. And it's just freaking beautiful down there. So I decided that's where she was from.
And you just hope you don't turn down the wrong road where somebody's playing a banjo telling you get a pretty mouth.
Actually, down there, there's a literal place that when I was stationed, now keep in mind that's my hometown, but I ended up getting stationed back down there when I was on active duty.
Okay.
And you weren't allowed to be across the bridge over the Port Royal Sound in a little town called Frogmore after sunset, because they practice voodoo over there.
Oh, damn.
And your ass might disappear. So you weren't allowed to be across the bridge without a pass after sunset. So yeah.
All you got to do is tell me, that's Voodoo Town. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little spooky.
I'm going to keep my fat ass on the base.
We'll stay on this island. We're not going over there.
Yeah.
So the blood and mud is her power is in her bloodline. The mud is this golem that her grandfather created to bring her home and to protect them. Now, if you know anything about the mythology of the golem, only the person who creates the golem can control the golem. In some of the stories, of course, the golems, they begin to develop free will and they buck or whatever. Not this golem, but it's not supposed to be possible to co-opt the golem. But Elizabeth's power is such that she's able to co-opt it, and so he is the mud, and he accompanies her on her. Exactly like Fort Benning going over to Phoenix City. Don't do that. You don't go to Phoenix City. Phoenix City's bad, bad, bad. Back in the 60s, 50s, and 40s, a lot of people died on the bridge. You went over there and you gambled, or you got into debt with some of the prostitution houses or whatever, and you get yourself deaded down in Phoenix City, Alabama. And it was always soldiers from Fort Benning that were getting in trouble. And I had a granduncle that died down there on the bridge. He was murdered. So yeah, it's a real thing.
Yeah, stay out of that town. You don't want to get Clintoned.
You don't want to get suicided.
Yep.
So yeah, this is a scene where, the Elizabeth's body didn't turn up. She didn't turn up in the newspapers. The mystery witness didn't make the papers. It wasn't on the news. So the mob boss says, "Hey, go confirm the kill." Well, the body's not there. Well, they know where she's from, so they send a couple of goons down to see if perchance she's down in the Low Country. And of course, the grandfather meets them at the door and said, No, she moved away years ago. And they they appear to leave, but they're not sure, so they decide they're going to stake out the place. So they park up at the top of the driveway, and bad things happen for them.
Yeah. I can't imagine for the life of me what the blocked out words might be. And before somebody guesses, let's just put myself up here. Just in case.
Right.
You've been warned.
Now, the good thing is, of course, when we move this over to Fund My Comic, we won't have to censor a damn thing.
Nope. That's a good image of the golem.
Yeah, just bad things. Bad things. So just they begin to get the sense. Now, this starts in book 2. I'll give a little teaser here. We're kind of looking at it from 2 points of view. We see it from Elizabeth's point of view, but we also see from a detective's point of view what appears to be a serial killer going after mob people, killing them in the most impossible, horrific ways. And they're trying to figure out what's going on. Because let's face it, if you're a witch and you've got a 12-foot tall, indestructible mud golem serving your every whim, that's not your garden variety crime spree.
Yeah. It's like Kids in the Hall just got real. I'm squeezing your head. Oops.
You know, it's not a good book if there's not a head squish in it. That's just my personal belief.
You know, and it brings you back to the 70s rhyme of Mama had a baby and its head popped up.
Oh my God. All right, so these are some of the primary characters. We've got the lovely Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth, I deliberately modeled her after a cross between Jennifer Connelly when she was young and just stunning, and a young Alana Miles, the woman who sang Black Velvet, just ravishing back in the day.
Rockin' horse.
So, yeah, so we got Elizabeth. Then there's the Golem. Andre Bogdan is the grandfather. He is Romanian. He doesn't speak English all that well, which is why when she went to the city, she kind of fell in with these Eastern European / Russians. Vasily Korov is the boss, and then there's a mysterious enforcer working for him. He's a 7-foot tall albino that everybody just calls Knock Knock because no one knows his name, and he's a little bit of an enigma.
Kind of scary.
And then this is cover A. This is my cover with Matt Crott's colors, which just is, to me, breathtaking. I mean, Matt really knocked it out of the ballpark on the colors. He knew exactly what I wanted, and he nailed it.
Very nice.
And then the great Jim O'Reilly has done an alternate cover for me, and it just looks amazing. Matt Cross will be coloring that one also. Thank you, File 13. I appreciate you.
Well, so don't tell Jim that it's completely badass because he thinks everything he does sucks.
Jim is badass, and he knows he's badass.
I always used to bust his chops on stream. Oh, I did this piece, but it sucks. I go, okay, well, I'll DM you my mailing address, and you can just send them to me.
Yes, forward me all your garbage, Jim. Jim is one of my favorite artists out there, period. He is just top drawer, fantastic, and a super nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so everybody that backs the book will get trading card number 2. Now, if you were on the sign up and then you back it, you get a trading card that's not shown here. We've already run that on the sign up with colors by Phil Leon, but it was the original cover, and I just wasn't happy with my work. Phil did a great job. I just was happy with mine. I said I can do better. Listen, Manicore, you don't get to make those kind of judgments, sir. So anyway, everyone who backs will get this trading card of Elizabeth, and it does 4S under black light.
Man, there's no reason to be trash talking.
Yeah, and these are These are indeed Carol's colors. Carol did
This
the
is my
colors.
part.
She colored the trading cards
It's pretty.
and the black light tapestry. So file 13, you're going to love this when we get to it. So scroll on down a little bit there. Oh yeah, first we're going to sell the original art. Now this was version 2, but I wasn't happy with the golem. I still had not yet figured out really how I wanted him to look. So I redrew him, and he is digitally inserted on the cover. But if you buy the original art, you're going to get two 11x17s. You'll get both of them. And then if you scroll on down, Jim O'Reilly does the same thing. You'll get the original pencils and then his inks. So for either one of those, you can get the original art and you will get two pieces of art.
You get the pencils and then you get the inks.
Mm-hmm.
Side by side, 13, you can put them up there.
You can also get the original trading card art. That's the black and white pre-color.
That's just yummy.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that was a 5x7. And here's the sketch cards. And this is just a sample. There are many. But there's Elizabeth, the Golem, and Knock Knock. And at it's a little further at the campaign, but at a certain stretch goal, we'll turn those into the first 3 trading cards. All right, file 13. Here you go. 24x36 black light tapestries on a satin material. So it'll outlast a poster by about a bazillion years. And they are black light reactive, but they also look really good in just regular light.
So awesome.
That's my favorite drawing of the Golem, by the way.
Yeah. I'm buying that tapestry.
Now, unfortunately, Anthony took this picture with a brick phone camera, so it's not a great shot of her fluorescing, but this is
cheap bastard. Trade in your Nokia block phone for an actual smartphone.
But you know, you've already seen the art of that. It's the same as on the trading card, but it's a 24x36 black light tapestry. And of course, Anthony Romano insists all of his campaigns at DarkGift Comics have black light tapestries. He didn't have to insist with me because I wanted them. So yeah, there they are. I will, Carol. I fought him on that. And I don't know if he's colorblind or what. He goes, it looks fine to me. No, it don't.
He wasn't colorblind. He was stoned. Do the bloody and muddy tier. Why not? I did.
Bloody and muddy is one of everything.
Oh, good. I'm glad you said something. I was getting a little nervous.
I got to bump my air on. You guys will hear a little background hum here. It's hot as shit down here. To have been 32 degrees last night, it was 80 today. So,
oof.
Yeah,
it was a nice breezy, like 65 up here.
Yeah, we don't listen. We only have 2 seasons in the South. Fuck, it's cold and fuck, it's hot.
Yeah,
we don't have autumn or spring.
And I know this because, as you know, my co-host on OK Boomer is from Georgia. So
yep.
He's not far from you. So
that's right. We've talked.
He bitches about the cold. I go, he goes, fucking freezing this morning. I go, ooh, what is it, like 60 degrees? You bitch.
It gets cold here, but the difference is, excuse me, the difference between a southern winter and a northern winter is you guys get snow. And you can go play in the snow and do snow things. All we get.
Speaking of which, Carol says,
yeah.
Shut up, I have snow.
Yeah. But down here, all we get is a big, gray, wet bucket of fuck. It's just nasty. So winter down here sucks. It's ugly. Everything's dead, gray, wet, cold, miserable. And you don't have the fun of ice skating or playing in with the snow or whatever. Yeah. So there's no appeal.
For a second, I thought you were describing the inside of my boxer shorts, but never mind.
Oh, well. Now, listen, it would not be a Doc product if there weren't coffee mugs. I don't know if everyone in your chat knows. I have a show every Saturday morning on YouTube, Doc's Coffee Shop, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I am a coffee hound. I'm a Navy veteran. The Navy is not nuclear powered; it is caffeine powered, and we keep a pot of coffee going from 4 o'clock in the morning till well after sunset every day of the year in this house. So yeah,
Well,
and also these are made in America. My next door neighbor is doing the transfer process, and I forget what it's called, but she's doing them. So Pariah Blood and Mud coffee mugs.
nice. Well, I got to tell you, I had I was given a Keurig when I first got out of rehab and moved into my tiny hole in the wall apartment like 6, 7 years ago,
Right.
and it finally died because it just stopped. Like you put it on like 10 ounces and you press the thing, and you get like 2.5 ounces, and that would be it.
It
But
just
then
gave
if you
up.
but then if you run it again, it would overflow the cup.
It just gave up on you.
So we got rid of that, and she got me a dual one, but not a Keurig. I can't remember the name brand right now, but it's got the coffee pot carafe on one side, and it's got the single cup on the other side.
Right. Right. Right.
You can either use K cups, or it comes with a heavy duty refillable K cup that you can
Nice.
pop in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. My neighbor has not this neighbor. Another neighbor has one of those. We'll have coffee, but we literally in this house. Okay. You plan ahead that the coffee machine is going to die from overuse. So when a coffee machine dies, the money to buy the next one goes into that carafe, and that carafe goes in the counter or in the cabinet, so that when this one dies, you just pull the money out, go get a new one. We don't let that happen. Like if the coffee machine dies at night, somebody's going to the store right now and get a new machine.
well, 3 years ago, my daughter bought me a for Christmas. Uh, Bought me a Batman heat reactive coffee mug.
Oh, nice.
The problem is the Keurig would only fill up the cup so far, so I'd only get like 3/4 of the picture change.
Yeah. See, there you go. Thank you,
Manticore, backer
Manicore.
number 43 of the digital tier. Oh, that's right. That's Manticore. Just so you know, the digital tier is the Australian tier.
He knows.
You
He
know,
knows it very well.
because why would anybody want to pay $70 to get one book shipped to Australia?
Right, right, right. I appreciate you, Manny, and I appreciate Rex. Rex back to traditional, and then I think he back to the bloody and muddy, and then he back to the digital, not realizing he'll get that anyway. But I'm not refunding him his money. So,
Just for being a smartass, thank you for your donation.
and Carol was back at number 4. Yeah,
Oh, very nice.
the
So
story, the story
she,
is really good. Look, I'm a good artist. All right, I know that I'm a good artist, but I'm a damn good writer. But writing is not something you can show off when you do live streams or
mhm,
a campaign. You actually have to get the book and read it.
yeah.
And I think people are really going to enjoy. I was going for something very intense with this book. You should feel uncomfortable reading it.
Carol had to buy her freedom.
Yes, I keep Carol in the basement, breakout colorist in case of emergency. So, once or twice a day, I give her a little handful of Rice Krispies, no milk, just some Rice Krispies, and maybe a tin of sardines, and she knocks that back, and then Quasimodo gets back in the basement. Color, you winch.
And if she gets thirsty, she just reaches out the window, grabs a handful of snow,
Yeah,
and double checks it twice to make sure it's not yellow.
there's a leaky pipe down there. She gets all the water she needs.
Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense. So my daughter got me that Batman cup.
Right?
And then last year she got me because it wasn't big enough. It was like they were like shot glasses to me because
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
wasn't big enough. So then she bought me this much larger, like 14-ounce marble coffee mug with
There you go.
all the old art, like
Yeah.
corner box stuff on it.
Yeah.
And then my girlfriend, because I'm a big fan of the Mandalorian and Grogu, Baby Yoda, so she bought me a Baby Yoda coffee mug.
There you go.
And then she smartened up and bought me like 32-ounce travel mugs.
Now, the wife in the morning, she'll fill up her Yeti, and it's one
Yep.
of the big ones. That leaves me exactly a cup and a half. So when she leaves, I got to make that next pot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I have learned over the years, I don't fill my mug up because I want it to be hot all the way to the bottom. So I only fill it up to about 2/3, slug that down, go get some more. Sometimes I just stand there and drink because, coffee's a thing. Just saying.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you just stick your head under the
Yeah.
faucet.
Suck the coffee teat. All right. What's else? What else is on this campaign?
More vines.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
the crossover with John Dillard.
Yes. If you back both Pariah, Blood and Mud, and Genesis Lightbringer 2, Lightbringer Genesis Volume 2, excuse me, John Dillard is doing this wonderful full color print of Elizabeth, the Golem, and Lightbringer all together.
That's gorgeous.
And of course, everybody knows John Dillard is just one of the best there is. And I am honored to have him doing this work.
Yeah, he might have been around the industry for a minute.
I'm not sure how long he's been around. I just know how good he is.
Yeah. And a 5x8 Gollum print included in the Bloody and Muddy perk, or as an add-on.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
You can just have a wall. File 13 should just have a wall full of Golems by the time he's done. The print, the original art, the tapestry.
Right. Now, I'll say this. I freaking love me a swamp monster. Man-Thing, Swamp Thing. I like Man-Thing more than Swamp Thing because I like the idea that he's just this mindless force of nature that lives at this crossroads of these dimensions. And honestly, he's horrifying to behold. If you saw something like that down in the low country or the bayous or the Everglades of Florida, your ass would be out of there so fast. All right, so stretch goals. At $5,000, we're going to take those original 3 sketch cards and we're going to turn them into trading cards. They'll have a nice dress border around them, and the info on the back will be info you can get about these characters that you will not find anywhere else in any of my media. So a little behind the scenes stuff that you will not get from the book.
Shadowhawk says, Doc gave you Tabasco sauce for fish heads. What more do you want? Carol wants to know who Dillard is.
Yeah, like she don't know. Dillard is the reason Carol's in our community. Dillard. So at $7,000, we're going to do embossed covers. Mm-hmm. And then at $8,000, everybody on launch night was losing their minds about you got to have beanies. So I don't know what the appeal is, but I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm down with it. So we'll do beanies at $8,000, and then at $10,000, we're going to have the embossed cover with foil logo.
Shadowhawk talking smack. Dillard is a legend in his own mind. And Manticore says the Golem is a great touch. Cool mythology. Yes.
Yeah, very much so.
Indeed.
And I love the fact that all of my primary characters are of Eastern European descent, as am I. And most people know the story of the original Golem story, and it's from Jewish mythology. But it's not just a Jewish thing. It is a Eastern European mythology. There are other stories out there. So, yeah.
Yeah, I actually have an issue of Alter Ego magazine that is nothing but swamp monsters. It's Swamp Thing, Man Thing.
What is this?
Alter Ego magazine. It's a comic book industry mag.
Ooh.
They do like in-depth articles and stuff. When I come across the issue, I'll let you know what issue it is, and you can probably find it online.
Yeah. Do that. Carol, that's a first of all, we will meet the funding goal, but if we don't, you will not have seen the last of these stretch goals. Okay. Yes, we will carry that stuff over to FMC. Also, I'm going to do very quickly as I can crank it out when I'm finished these edits. I'm going to crank out a 12-page backstory that's basically not a backstory, a deleted scene from the book that's a little insight into who Knock Knock is. So it's a little spin-off story that I'm going to put over there after this campaign. Yeah. That's all about me, how wonderful I am, how wonderful Anthony is.
So this is the embellishment portion. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Pad the resume.
let's
I
go
like
to
I
let's go to
like
the tiers.
I like how Anthony's about the publisher is longer than the about the writer, artist, inker.
And the book.
All right, so tiers, or what are these called? Are these called tiers?
Yeah.
All right. So Bloody and Muddy is one of everything. Best bang for your buck. Only 115 bucks is one of everything. And then we've got
The Australian variant.
the digital PDF for $6. Cover A, if you just want the book, $12. And then we'll replace the image when we get the color one, but Jim O'Reilly's cover. And also, of course, you get the little print of Elizabeth. You can get a coffee mug. And I have one. I should have brought it on stream, but it's in the dishwasher, so I have it in the morning. Coffee mugs in black or white. And these are, I think, what is a standard size mug? 10 ounce?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10-ounce coffee mugs. They are created right next door to me. My neighbor has a small business, so you're supporting an American small business when you buy one of those, not just me.
Good. Somebody who doesn't buy from the enemy.
That's right. The black light tapestry. I cannot believe none of these have been claimed. Somebody go get the Golem black light tapestry, for goodness sakes. Both covers A and B, $20. The Elizabeth black light tapestry. We got to replace that image. And then
Come on, work. There we
I
go.
don't know. Oh, the sketch cards. Yeah, there will be a F-ton. Sketch cards with books, $60. Yeah, I'm not sure how many sketch cards you get, though. And Anthony has a whole bunch. I've sent him. I think it's random, however many you get, plus the print for $60.
And one person's already getting it. And
Yep.
then the retailer tier.
Yeah, and we've already got 2 stores that are going to carry our product. Working on a third. I'm blessed that my friend actually runs a large LCS here in Atlanta. So we're looking at maybe 2 more of those going. Original page of art, $125.
Very cheap.
Very. Very, very, very. And then the trading card to art. I don't know what that is. Doc Blalock trading card to art. Oh, the art of the original, the 11x17 for the trading card. You can get the original piece for $150.
Oh, very nice. And this is your OG cover that we talked about earlier.
Right.
Only $300 for both pieces.
Mm-hmm. Plus a book and a card. Jim O'Reilly, same thing, $400. I don't know why he's worth more than I am. Damn it.
Apparently, he's worth more than you are on your own campaign. So
yes. And I cut up with Jim because he's so modest. You know, Jim. He's so modest. You know, he was on a stream with me the other day, and I was doing the same shtick about why is his selling for more than mine. And Jim's in the chat going, "I'm sorry, Doc. I'm sorry." Yeah, Shadowhawk got both of the tapestries, and I love that you're going to have those, Shadowhawk, because I know you've got one hell of a wall of art, so I'm tickled you're going to hang mine there. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Yes, I'm just redoing it. And let's go with this. I pressed the button, stop.
Revenge, the sweetest morsel to the mouth that ever was cooked in hell.
Doesn't matter what you say or the action that you take. This is gone without your will for the problem that you made. You're the man of justice, the paranoid legions all around you. Just the things you cannot change and the darkness that's inside you.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
I enjoy my own trailer because I like the music. I actually watched that same channel that Classical Composer reacts to.
To stuff.
Yes, I saw the one he did where he was reacting to Queensryche. I forget which song it was he did, but was it? I don't remember. But anyway, it was really good. It was really well done. Anyway, that's it. That's the whole Campagny.
The whole
The
bloody
whole,
thing.
The whole bloody and muddy thing.
Wow. That's just pretty awesome.
Yep. And I don't, I'm terrible about shilling my own product. I'll shill for other people all day long. All I can say is, I would really appreciate it if you would back this project right from the heart.
So now I have another question.
Ask, sir.
So what seems like decades ago now, there was talk of me having my first comic book appearance.
Mm-hmm. You're in book 2, already drawn, already with the publisher.
Ooh.
So when Elizabeth, thank you, Manticore, I appreciate you. When Elizabeth goes looking for some information, she goes into the seedy ass nightclub. And well, this was not even a nightclub, it's just a bar. And good old Will is at the bar. The barkeep
Shocker.
is none other than Cherry Pop. Remember the old Cherry comics?
Cherry
It's
Pop
her.
Tart.
It's her. Cherry Pop Tart is the bartender. Now, of course, it's in my style, so there's no copyright issue, and we're not going to say her name. But she's the barkeep, and Will is there ogling her and drinking his Sam Adams.
And possibly a couple of whiskey chasers.
Whatever you want, buddy. I'll draw some empty shot glasses on the bar there for you.
Just so people can recognize me.
Maybe a few bubbles coming out of his head. But yeah, you're in it. Already drawn. And Fanta wanted me to put in her bow-legged duck. I don't remember his name, but there is, by God, a bow-legged duck in book 2.
Wow. A bow-legged duck.
Mm-hmm. Anybody remember what that damn duck's name was? She got after me on a stream one time, and we were laughing about this bow-legged duck. And I already had a scene that I was working on with Elizabeth at a park, and there were ducks. So I thought, well, it's no big deal to draw a bow-legged duck in there for Fanta. I'm happy to do it.
Well, of course. I'm being slightly. I'm doing all Sugar Chris now.
You're doing what?
I'm doing a Sugar Chris.
I'm not even sure what that means. I know Sugar Chris, but I don't know
Yeah.
what
Well, Sugar Chris is well, he's interviewing people. He'll actually have like a third page open and actually be shopping on the campaign.
Well, by all means, shop away, sir. But there's a couple of things here. I was really going for in Elizabeth's case, and you won't see this until book 2, but Elizabeth is not a hero by any stretch of the imagination. This is all personal for her. She's not out trying to make the world a better place. She's not going to go after these guys so they never do it to anybody else. She's doing it because they did it to her.
Mm-hmm.
And in particular, there's a scene where she's on her way to a stalk, we'll call it. She's stalking, and a young lady is experiencing the same thing that she went through in an alley. She doesn't even notice. She's not going to go in there and rescue anybody. That's not who she is. She's not a hero. And she does begin to question her own sanity and morality. You will see her talking to the golem. The golem never speaks. So we as the reader don't know if she has some kind of psychic rapport with this thing or if she's just kind of cracked a little bit.
Just a little cracked.
Oh, well, thank you, Will. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
I got
she's
the book.
She's she's spiraling out of control, losing her morality. And I was asked, I make no secret of the fact I'm a Christian. I'm not a perfect one, but I'm a Christian. And someone asked, 2 people now have asked me, well, how do you reconcile your faith with doing a character that's a witch? Well, first of all, how would I reconcile that with even doing Superman? Because there's no such thing. It's all make-believe. But the second answer to that is you got to wait for book 3, and that question answers itself in a very shocking way. And that's all I'm going to say about it. There's like 6 people on the planet that know.
I'm not one of them, but at least I knew I was in the book.
That's right, baby. You have your bragging rights.
I will finally be immortal.
You thought I forgot. I did not. As a matter of fact, didn't I show you the rough sketch of it like the next day?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I just smoothed that out and it's in there, baby. And as a matter of fact, I pushed your scene you're sitting in because there was too much dead space on the right. Pushed it to the left, and Elizabeth is literally walking right behind you, coming into the place. So there you go.
Ooh, spooky.
Yep. Pretty sure my son just got here, but he's got a key. He can let himself in.
All right.
That timing was good. Remember?
Oh,
I said it would be about an hour, and sure as Jump Street, there he is.
Yep. So we want to thank Doc for coming on and talking about his book, and I want to thank everybody for coming into the chat. Back in the book, and 60% there, Doc.
We're there, baby. Getting there. Thank you, everybody. And Will, thank you for having me out, man. I always enjoy hanging out with you.
Oh, yeah.
Just a hell of a good guy. Everybody in the chat is like family. I know all these people. So thank you for coming out.
Back to the basement, Carol.
Yep. Get back in the basement, Carol. I'll get you a fresh can of sardines.
Oh, my God. Take care, Rex.
Rex, thanks for coming. Don't forget,
all of these Creators Outlet episodes, well, not every single one, because the first, 6 months were, it was a train wreck. Because I hadn't been on a microphone in 3 years, so I was a little out of practice. And I didn't know what to do outside of calling strippers on stage, and promoting alcohol. So instead, I just drank the alcohol and promoted comics. So there we go.
You got a new subscriber out of Manicore.
Oh, yeah.
And Will does have on some really good guests, and he needs a bigger audience.
Yes, I do. Manicore subscribed to the channel. Devil Flyer subscribed and showed Shadowhawk.
Nice. Now wait a minute. You got 3 subs. I got 1 backer. Let's reverse that.
No.
Let's,
You
let's,
got 4 backers tonight.
oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Listen, I'm thrilled. I had a great time, Will. We got to do it again soon, brother.
Maybe Manicore should come up here and talk about his book.
He should.
And Carol sub too. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Carol,
So,
it's always a pleasure to see you.
don't forget that most of these episodes, like all the last almost 2 years of these episodes, are available in podcast form. If you just want to listen to some old shows, you can follow me wherever you get your podcasts. And just remember to scroll down on the app and give me a 5-star review, because that's the correct amount of stars.
That's exactly right. That is the correct and only acceptable number.
And lie and write something nice about me. It'll help spread the word for the podcast.
Carol said she had to unsub for me to sub to you. So there's that.
Oh, my God.
Listen, I give her hell on these streams, but if you know Carol, she gives it right back.
Oh, yeah. And we got to have Devil Flyer on for his book, too.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. This man is building a universe, not just a book. And I have been privileged to do a little work for Rex. I think 2 sequentials and some other stuff. And I've had the privilege of being backstage and hearing some of this stuff. I'm like, ooh, it's going to be good stuff. So, yeah, get on over and follow Rex and see what he's up to.
Yeah, I follow him over on Twitter. Rex, just hit me up in the DMs and Twitter, and we'll get you on the show to plug your book.
Absolutely.
And we will catch everybody later. Don't forget, back at once, back at twice, back at 3 times or more. It's Pariah, Mud and Blood from Doc Blalock. Take care, everybody.
Bye. Blalock.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Doc.
That's right. Just Doc. All right, I'm out, buddy.
Take care.